Shobra Books presents Jung for Kittens by Glyn K. Green, read by Charlotte Randle. Disclaimer. This is not intended to be an academically rigorous treatment of the work of Carl Gustav Jung. It could be viewed as positively misleading on the subject of kittens. Chapter 1. We all have a journey to make through this world, given the good fortune and the perseverance to stay alive. And at some point in this journey, sometimes sooner, sometimes later, we may find that living the unexamined life is not working out for us. In order to progress in a manner that we at least find acceptable, we need to know who we really are. For Arthur Loveday, this point arrived on September the 31st, 2010, in the North London offices of Carruthers Sloane Estate Agents, where he had worked, with moderate success, for the previous 10 years. Lately, however, there had been a hiatus in the business of property dealing, a state of affairs that was generally attributed to the current government and the prevailing banking system. But Carruthers Sloane felt the need to attribute it more specifically than that, and so they laid it at the door of 2 or 3 of their more moderate employees. 3 days after his 30th birthday, Arthur Loveday was let go. For a small orphan kitten, the unexamined life came to an end slightly later than this, 10 days, and somewhat farther down the high street, 7 doors, in the window of Happy Paw's pet shop, where it found itself meowing desperately through the plate glass with absolutely no idea of how it had got there, or what its purpose in this bewildering world was supposed to be. So the truth is that, far from one being a redundant estate agent and the other being just a kitten, the pair of them had a lot in common from the very start. But whilst the owner of Happy Paws would not even hear the kitten's cries, Carruthers Sloane were not entirely deaf to the lamentations of those they had just jettisoned into the job market, and so, in accordance with the latest in caring business models, they provided, for each one, a full 40 minutes of emotional compensation from a very experienced and succinct counsellor. This counsellor was distinguished by a doctorate in psychology, which had been largely acquired by putting unsuspecting volunteers into bogus situations, observing their reactions, and statistically analysing the resulting behaviour. With complex experiments such as these, he had proved that men like beautiful women, that women like brave men, and that the unconscious mind, given the quiet, unencumbered space in which to operate, will produce...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?